個個都北上消費，對香港啲生意點算？
有冇諗過調翻轉，吸引多啲人南下？
講咁易咩？原來 TVB 已經直接經營廣東翡翠台，仲有唔同嘅廣告投放形式添。
TVB 喺大灣區咁多人睇，大部分係高端消費群，又要揾佢哋做一站式廣告投放啊！
咁啲廣告咧就可以直接投放廣東省，覆蓋大灣區9大城市，一定幫到我哋生意。即係打俾廣告公司先，
或者直接揾 TVB 啦。
Get ready for movie night. Tonight, Ant-Man. Tomorrow night, Anaconda. See you there.
Tonight, investigators focus in on a motive in that deadly shooting in Atlanta. Right now, authorities are trying to uncover what led a gunman to open fire near the CDC, leaving behind bullet holes like these. What neighbors told our team about the suspect's behavior leading up to the shooting, plus what we know about the hero officer killed while rushing to stop the rampage. And President Trump's Ukraine peace plan hits a roadblock. President Zelensky rejecting a proposed land swap as the White House considers inviting him to a big meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. And Israel building up troops along the Gaza border, preparing to move in as the Trump administration makes a new push for a peace deal. Firefighters making progress on a massive wildfire burning in Southern California. Look at this. Severe storms in Nebraska smashing a tree into a house. And Maurice Norris from the Detroit Lions knocked unconscious, taken off the field in an ambulance. A powerful moment that brought both teams together. In California, the center of a robot revolution for farming, but a ban here could keep them from ever being used. The impact this could have on your wallet no matter where you live. And the first woman to umpire a MLB regular season game makes her debut. And there is good news tonight. This woman's mission to dress up to turn kids' frowns upside down.
This is NBC Nightly News with Jose Diaz-Balart.
Good evening, I'm Gotti Schwartz in for Jose tonight, and we start with new questions from that deadly shooting in Atlanta. This was the scene near the CDC and Emory University, a massive law enforcement response to that rampage which caused damage like this. Look at those bullet holes in the CDC's windows, and here at the pharmacy across the street, one officer struck in that attack. DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose, just 33 years old, leaving behind a wife and 2 kids with another on the way. Police also identifying the suspect, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White. Now the investigation is focusing on the motive. A neighbor telling our team today that White repeatedly expressed anti-vaccine views. Priya Shrithar has the latest from Atlanta.
Tonight, officials in Georgia releasing new information about that deadly shooting near the CDC and Emory University in Atlanta. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation identifying 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White as the suspected shooter.
We'll run an active shooter response.
White lived at this home about 30 miles away from where the shooting took place. A neighbor who says she knew him well but didn't want to be identified, telling NBC News White had expressed anti-vaccine sentiments to her on multiple occasions and that he told her he believed the COVID vaccine made him sick. Other neighbors say they're completely shocked.
I didn't think that it would be someone down the street.
It's very unnerving.
The shooting broke out around 5 p.m. Friday, sending both the CDC and Emory University into lockdown for several hours. Officials say police heard gunfire inside a CVS pharmacy and that several rounds went into the CDC nearby. Authorities later finding White on the second floor of the CVS building with a gunshot wound. It's unclear if it was self-inflicted or from police. He died at the scene, and authorities still don't know the motive for the shooting. Late Friday, authorities announcing the death of 33-year-old DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose, who was shot while responding to calls of an active shooter. Rose was a father of 2 children with a third on the way and had only graduated from the police academy in March.
This officer responded to the call as he was trained to do, and he lost his life.
Well, Gotti, the CDC director is calling this an attack. In an email to staff, she says they'll all be working remotely on Monday while they conduct a security assessment here before everyone can return to the office. Gotti?
Priya Sridhar in Atlanta, thank you. Overseas, Ukrainian President Zelensky is rejecting President Trump's proposal for a land swap with Russia. This comes just days before a planned meeting between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Vaughn Hilliard reports.
President Trump tonight facing headwinds ahead of his planned historic meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, announcing the meeting will take place in Alaska next Friday and suggesting that Ukraine may have to cede some of its land as part of a peace agreement.
There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both. But we'll be talking about that either later or tomorrow or whatever.
But today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky vehemently rejecting the premise, saying we will not reward Russia for what it has done. Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. A senior U.S. official telling NBC News that top Ukrainian officials met today with Vice President Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and White House Special Envoys Steve Witkoff and Keith Kellogg ahead of the Trump-Putin meeting to engage on principles of a potential proposal for a ceasefire, including possible security guarantees. NBC News now learning, according to a senior U.S. official and 3 people briefed on discussions, the White House is considering inviting Zelensky to Alaska. The Ukrainian president asserting that any deal between Trump and Putin will achieve nothing without Ukraine at the table and will be dead decisions that will never work. The president, for a second time this year, had set a deadline for Russia to enter into a ceasefire and effectively bring its war to an end.
10 days from today.
But last night, that deadline came and went without a mention of any consequence. Instead, the president now set to welcome Putin to the American homeland in what will be Putin's first time on U.S. soil in 10 years, despite his Russian military continuing to kill Ukrainians. Overnight, Russia launching dozens of drone attacks in its continued bombardment.
And Vaughn Hilliard joins us live from the White House. Vaughn, if Zelensky were invited to Alaska, could that mean all 3 presidents are going to appear together?
Gotti, it would be a staggering surprise to see all 3 presidents in the same room. Just 2 days ago, let's be clear, Putin said that Ukraine would have to meet certain conditions for him to have a direct meeting with Zelensky. But in his words, Ukraine was far from having met those demands. Gotti?
Vaughn Hilliard, thank you. And to the Middle East now, where new images show signs of the Israeli military building up along the Gaza border as Israel faces growing backlash from the international community for its plan to take over Gaza and insufficient food aid in the Strip. Molly Hunter has the latest.
As parachutes of aid plunge to the ground in Gaza, a crude and dangerous delivery. Today, an aid crate crushing to death 14-year-old Mohammed Eid. Desperation like this knows no limits. Dozens crowding this balcony before it collapses, unclear how many were injured. We're powerless, says Malak Abu Sita. We're calling on the international community to protect us from Netanyahu. The Israeli Prime Minister's latest plan, a new military push to take over Gaza. The UN calling it a dangerous escalation. Germany taking action, imposing a partial arms embargo. Arab states issuing a joint statement expressing categorical rejection, and Hamas calling it a new chapter in the war of extermination. And in Israel, thousands taking to the streets this weekend.
We want to stop the war. We want to bring the hostages home, and we want to stop the suffering of the Gazan people.
Today, hospitals in Gaza recorded 11 new deaths citing malnutrition, according to the Ministry of Health.
And tonight, in a renewed push for a deal, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is in Ibiza, Spain, meeting with the Qatari Prime Minister about a, quote, workable proposal. With a ceasefire on the table, it may delay Prime Minister Netanyahu's military push. But in response to the international outcry, there is a rare UN Security Council emergency session tomorrow morning. Gotti?
Molly Hunter, thank you. And here at home, evacuation orders were lifted as firefighters gained the upper hand in the battle against the Canyon Fire. That's burned some 5,000 acres in Southern California, but CAL FIRE says it is now more than 25% contained. And check this out. Severe storms slammed the plains today. In Nebraska, a massive tree crashing down into a house. Thankfully, the person who took that video says she and her family are safe. Meanwhile, supporters showed up at a rally in Texas tonight to protest Republican efforts to redraw the congressional map there, and it comes as officials ramp up a legal battle against the Democrats who fled Texas to try to block that effort. Ryan Chandler reports from Austin.
Tonight, the fight to redraw the political map in Texas is escalating.
We're never giving up, and we're never bending the knee. Are you with me?
With a rally against the state's redistricting push and 4 Democrats who fled the state to stop it.
We can't do it without you. I know your hearts are with us.
Texas Democrats on the run, appearing virtually as they try to block their Republican colleagues from creating 5 new GOP congressional seats. Former Congressman Beto O'Rourke defending his political action group's effort to foot the bill. And slamming Attorney General Ken Paxton after he won a decision to halt them from helping to fund Democrats' expenses.
He tried to stop us from raising money to support these Democrats in the fight. He lost.
In a new filing, Paxton is asking a California court for the authority to execute civil arrest warrants for Democrats who've left the state. Some appeared alongside Governor Gavin Newsom Friday. He announced California will put a retaliatory redistricting map on the ballot this November.
We'll pick up 5 seats with the consent of the people, and that's the difference between the approach we're taking and the approach they're taking.
3 Texas House sources tell NBC News those Democrats have already left California.
We're going to be able to get all of the business done. It's just a matter of when. That's it.
The chairman of the Texas House Redistricting Committee argues it's not about advantage, it's about balance. Are you concerned about the promised retaliation from Democratic states if we pass these maps?
Retaliation, they did it first to begin with.
And Ryan joins us from outside the Texas Capitol. Ryan, what is the Democrats' plan to push back?
Well, all the Democrats I've spoken to in Chicago, Gotti, tell me that they are not coming home until they kill this special session on August 19th. That'll force Governor Abbott to call another one, and he tells me he will call another and another until these maps pass. Gotti.
Ryan Chandler out in Austin. Ryan, thank you. And tomorrow on Meet the Press, Kristen Welker will have an exclusive interview with Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, along with Senator Lindsey Graham and former Attorney General Eric Holder. That's right here on NBC. And turning now to New York, where 3 people were hurt in a shooting in Times Square overnight. Police say someone opened fire in the middle of the popular tourist destination. You can see the aftermath with people being escorted out of the area, a large police presence there. A suspect is under arrest tonight, and police say some sort of verbal altercation might have led to that shooting. And now to a scary moment on the field at a preseason NFL game last night. A player knocked unconscious, taken off the field in an ambulance. But tonight, some encouraging news about how he's doing, and Dana Griffin has this report.
A routine play turned nightmare. While trying to make a tackle in Friday's Falcons-Lions preseason game, Lions safety Maurice Norris takes a knee to the head and immediately goes limp. Players visibly shaken as medics work on Norris for 20 minutes, then taken by ambulance to an Atlanta hospital. When the game resumed, an incredible moment of solidarity. Players running out the clock, a decision by head coaches Raheem Morris and Dan Campbell.
We agreed that it just didn't feel right to finish that game.
Players holding hands and bowing their heads for several minutes before the league eventually ended the game.
This game is suspended.
The Lions sharing Norris has feeling and movement in all his extremities. Teammate Terrion Arnold posting a screen grab of what he says was their FaceTime call this morning, showing Norris smiling. And Norris posting on Instagram, "I'm all good." This man says he spotted Norris at the airport today back on his feet. This comes after other notable mid-game scares over the past few seasons. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa suffering multiple concussions. And safety Damar Hamlin going into cardiac arrest on the field, raising awareness of the potential dangers to players.
Man, it's a violent game, and we love it. When something like this happens, the silver lining is, man, the brotherhood.
Fans watching last night's broadcast praising both teams for putting humanity over football. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
And still ahead tonight, SpaceX making another picture perfect splashdown, but this return was a first of its kind. Plus,
the Election Committee is a key part of the Hong Kong SAR's electoral system. It comprises accomplished members from different fields,
with important functions of nominating and voting in Chief Executive and Legislative Council elections.
The 2025 Election Committee subsector by-elections will be held on September 7th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at designated polling stations.
Eligible voters can check voting instructions through IM Smart
or on their poll cards. Eligible voters are encouraged to vote.
My TV Super 暑假限定親子自省，佢哋翻嚟啦，係熊貓博士同 YY， 想學成語就要跟住佢哋啦。流花，想知道粵語典故同中文生字 ，click 入嚟幫到你。呢度仲有升逼補習班添啊，幫你 STEM 中英數全面升咧。My TV Super 親子自省學堂幫大家暑假輕鬆上堂。My TV Super 電視3.0，睇電視睇多啲。
聽住，有人叫你投資裝個 app 入錢，你會唔會裝
？No。
啱，因為會隨時偷晒你啲錢同埋資料。防騙視伏 app 嘅新功能可以幫你自動偵測可疑嘅 A 網址 B 電話。
以上皆是。
啱，快啲 download啦！仲有冇其他新功能？
冇啦啩。
錯，仲有公眾舉報詐騙網站同埋電話號碼平台。
哦。
唔想中伏，上多啲守望者網站同埋下載防騙視伏 app 啦。
自動征服，舉報騙局，防騙視伏 app 即刻裝啦！
And back now with NASA's SpaceX Crew 10 splashing down in the Pacific earlier today, not far from San Diego. On board 2 NASA astronauts, a Japanese astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut. NASA says Crew 10 is the first commercial space crew mission to splash down off the California coast. Also tonight, as self-driving cars take to the roads across the country, they're also popping up on farms as well. Autonomous tractors are the norms in several states, but here in California, farmers say a ban on them is hurting business, and that could impact the price you pay for food. Bigad Shaban from our NBC Bay Area station has a closer look.
Robots are revolutionizing America's farmlands. Self-driving tree shakers collect nuts. Mini machines prep soil. And some robots even fire lasers. Their target? Unwanted weeds.
The stuff that's not fun to do, that's going to start to go away.
Larry Jacobs runs 6 farms in California with the help of 8 robots that spread fertilizer and flame fields to get rid of insects.
Our biggest problem is labor.
You can't find enough people to hire.
It's challenging to get all the work done because if we don't have people to pick the crops, all our food costs are going to go up, and that's only going to get worse.
The federal government predicts more than 88,000 farming positions will go unfilled every year through the next decade. While technology already exists to allow farming equipment to run all on its own, Jacobs still has to use his own staff to man the controls. Because state law in California, in nearly all cases, prohibits the use of autonomous tech in agriculture. Even though driverless cars have been navigating busy roadways in some areas here for years.
It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy.
When farm equipment is running, California safety regulations say operators must be at the controls, with few exceptions. That law was written nearly 50 years ago, long before autonomous tech. These advancements were largely developed in California, but farmers here legally can't benefit from them. Even though the state produces more than 40% of the country's vegetables and nearly 70% of the nation's fruits and nuts. John Deere's self-driving tractors are already being used by farmers in 11 other states. But California regulators concerned about safety have kept the state ban in place. Larry Jacobs says farmers need more helping hands.
Technology is happening fast enough. It's helping us resolve these problems now.
That is, he says, if California plows ahead with new rules. Bigad Shaban, NBC News, Watsonville, California.
And we are back in a moment with history made on the baseball field today. The MLB's first woman umpire, truly in a league of her own. That's coming up next. And we are back with history made in the sports world. Jen Powell became the first woman umpire to ever work a regular season game in Major League Baseball today. Maggie Vespa has more on her debut.
Today is historic. For America's pastime, a monumental first. Jen Powell has become the first woman to umpire a regular season Major League Baseball game, and what a day it's been. In Atlanta today, all eyes on Jen Powell. The 48-year-old New Jersey native soaking up support before posting up at first base during today's Braves-Marlins matchup.
And they get the out there and then safe at first.
And getting to work.
For Jen Powell, her first really kind of close call here, about as close as it gets. Good call.
The longtime AAA umpire who's called some 1,200 minor league games, speaking after today's debut.
Wow, just incredible. Like dream came true. Like the dream actually came true today, and I'm still living in it. And I'm just so grateful to my family, to Major League Baseball.
Commissioner Robert Manfred saying Major League Baseball is proud of the strong example Powell has set. That example led by other leagues. The NBA's had female officials since 1997, the NFL 2012. Melissa Lockard with The Athletic points out women have been elevated on the business side of baseball.
To get to be a Major League umpire, you have to be in the minor leagues for 10, 15, 20 years. You're seeing so many more women in so many different places that it became a comfortable thing.
This historic call-up, now dubbed a home run.
Maybe there's a little girl in the stands seeing her out there thinking to herself, maybe one day I can be an umpire.
Maggie Vespa, NBC News.
How about that, Maggie? Thank you. When we come back, there is good news tonight about not taking things too seriously and the woman who dresses up to light up those who need it the most. And finally, there is good news tonight about someone who got really creative with Casual Fridays to bring joy and comfort where it is needed the most. Here's George Solis.
3. At Golisano Children's Hospital in South Florida, Terry Aldred isn't just a worker, she's a character.
That's luau's coming up.
No, really, she is. That's her, dressed as Sully from Monsters, Inc., manning the service desk.
Thank you for calling.
Answering calls.
Hello.
And checking in young patients ahead of surgery.
For a lot of people, they think of Casual Friday, and that might just mean jeans and a t-shirt. This is next level.
Next level. Cherry on top. Yep.
It's not Halloween. This is what Terry does and has been doing every Friday for the past 8 years. When the hospital started, a short-lived, not just for the kids. Parents love it too.
It means the world to us. Anything that makes her happy makes us happy.
That joy, thanks in part to about 300 costumes Terry bought or made herself, some of them based on characters, others on places, on things, and the occasional sweet treat.
I mean, I have been a cotton candy, where by the end of the day, I had no cotton on my candy.
Here at the hospital, Terry is clearly in a league of her own. But that hasn't stopped coworkers from crashing the party, including 16-year-old Hardy, who often matches Terry's outfits. Over the years, Terry has collected more than just costumes. She's made countless friends, stories, and new memories of days made better and a lot of frowns turned upside down, all thanks to a character who cares.
fun.
Okay.
Because you do, you make a difference. That's the special part about this. We do make a difference. All of us do.
George Solis, NBC News, Fort Myers, Florida.
Good job.
Terry making things less scary. That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. Hallie Jackson will be here tomorrow night. I'm Gotti Schwartz. From all of us here at NBC News, thanks for watching and have a great night.
One more?
Find your rhythm in the pursuit of knowledge. You can go fast, be spontaneous, stay focused on your bigger picture. Or you can be tranquil, go slowly, and discover your own pace. You might work experimentally, because in this wonderful world of learning, there is no limit. Hong Kong Metropolitan University Special Knowledge for All, this morning at 9 on Pearl.
Powering through black rain, can Hong Kong tackle extreme weather? Joseph Law, Managing Director of CLP Power Hong Kong, on Straight Talk, Tuesday night at 8 on Pearl.
Join travel writer Mankon Magan as he takes it slow in his train-driven travelogue. Experience joyful living, local customs, and a touch of whimsy. Who needs the plane when you've got your feet on the ground? Mankon's Europe by Train, Thursday night at 8:30 on Pearl.
It's countdown time to the National Games. Competition events are about to kick off. Franchise products are now for sale. Don't forget to mark the dates of your favorite events and get ready to secure your spot. The National Games are around the corner. Let's celebrate and gear up for thrilling moments on our home turf.
無線衛星亞洲台三大台灣人氣節目，香港觀眾一直睇得滋味又開心。女人我最大，男教主教你點樣由頭靚到落腳。食上玩家系列帶你追住台灣最煙美食同景點。11點熱炒店，用林哥同 Melody 爆料，勁爆話題冇底線。
對，每一個爆料呢都是現實版的宮鬥劇。
以前錯過咗就真係冇得睇翻，而家係 MyTV Super 新增點播重溫，想幾時睇由你。
講咁易咩？原來 TVB 已經直接經營廣東翡翠台，仲有唔同嘅廣告投放形式添喎。
TVB 喺大灣區咁多人睇，大部分係高端消費群，又要揾佢哋做一站式廣告投放啊！
咁啲廣告咧就可以直接投放廣東省，覆蓋大灣區9大城市，一定幫到我哋生意。即係打俾廣告公司先，
或者直接揾 TVB 啦。
為未成年，咪掂酒精，試下飲啦。影響發育，你咪貪高興。為未成年，咪掂酒精，睇到有獎杯啦。引起情緒問題，傷身兼理性。Do not drink， 未成年咪掂酒精。做獎杯咧，選擇要更加醒。酒精傷害要認清，未成年咪掂酒精。
Explore the surprising personalities of Australia's vibrant biodiversity, from the eccentrics to the romantics. Unique themes for each episode will introduce you to characters of all types and quirks. Extraordinary Animals, tonight at 8 on Pearl.
The funniest delights can come from inside the house. Don't miss the hilarious and the absurd.
Yeah.
The crazy and the unexpected. The playful and the painful. America's Funniest Home Videos. Tonight at 8:30 on Pearl.
Today is a new day. Doesn't matter what you've done, the Lord can forgive you. God wants to change our hearts before He changes our circumstances. I believe that God is going to bring peace in a broken world through you.